Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another match preview show for you guys this evening. Yes, it is Liverpool versus Manchester United. Of course, it is the biggest game in English football, without a shadow of a doubt. It still is. It's definitely the fixtures that we definitely look at for the first game of the season anyway. But again, guys, let me know how all of you are. Let me know if you're excited and nervous as well for the. Is it the Northwest Derby? Are we going to go Northwest Derby? Or was it just Liverpool versus Manchester United? Liverpool versus the Manx. And of course, hopefully, Liverpool will come out on top on Sunday afternoon. Anyway, of course, 4:30 at Anfield. Anyway, so again, guys, it's going to be a very hard game. That's not hide about. That's not look at the proper facts. Manchester United are a very good side all of a sudden now under Eric Ten Hag, but again, Liverpool have to be on their A game to get 3 points. Well, to get 3 points against Manchester United anyway. But let me read a few of your comments out then, guys. Jordan's in saying hi. Hello, Jordan. Hopefully, having a fantastic day, my friend. Hannah's in saying dreading this match. Not going to lie, first time I've dreaded a Manchester United in a long time, says Hannah as well. And El Scouser is in as well saying evening, we have no chance on paper or form as well. I'm glad you actually mentioned that as well, because we are going to take a quick look at at the form sheets in a brief moment as well, because when you look on the form sheets, it's not good, is it? When you compare the last few games between, well, not just between the two teams, but just in general. Anyway, I'll quickly make this bigger for you guys as well. Oh, I've removed it. There we go. Never mind. But yeah, as you can see, Manchester United again. The only downside to their recent form is, of course, against Manchester, is against Barcelona. Sorry, but again, beating Leicester 3-0, getting over the line against Barcelona, coming back from behind, I believe, against Barcelona as well. Of course, winning the Carabao Cup, which of course Liverpool won last season, and again, beating West Ham United. Sorry, a couple of nights ago. Anyway, so again, they're in a perfect run of form, and again, the main people to watch out for Manchester United, as we know, Casemiro, as I think Hannah's already mentioned, and who's in our team can best shut down Casemiro. Again, we'll talk to that in a moment, but again, for Manchester United, Casemiro, of course, has been one of the outstanding players. Lautaro Martinez as well, of course, got criticised earlier on in the season, but has done quite well in dealing with the pressure and dealing of the Premier League as well. And then, of course, Manchester United's biggest threat, and I think the biggest threat towards Liverpool's defence, of course, Marcus Rashford. He's been absolutely sensational this season. I hate to say it because it is a Manchester United player doing so well, but yeah, it's it is frightening what Marcus Rashford has done so far this season. I'm going to quickly find his stats for this season, anyway, in the league, just in particular. If I can quickly find them, because I did have a list of notes, but the notes always disappear whenever I literally write down some notes, and yep, they always go missing whenever. Anyway, but again, 24 match appearances, 14 goals, 3 assists this season in the Premier League alone. So again, he's been absolutely brilliant since probably since the game last that we played against Manchester United start the season. I believe it was the third game of the season. I believe that Liverpool played Manchester United, and of course we lost by 2 goals to 1. But even then, we didn't deserve anything from that game. And I think from that game in particular, I think we all knew something was wrong this season anyway. Um, but anyway, what else do we have? Big up Con, mate. Hope you're well. Says John. John, good seeing you as well, my friend. As well. No, they're not. But again, just generally though, looking at the last few games between the two teams, if I can quickly scroll down by here, it's not looking so bad for Liverpool. Again, last time out, losing 2-1, of course, at Old Trafford. Again, though, Liverpool we're not going to include the club friendly back in the summer neither. But you look at the last couple of games, of course, the 4-0 win at Anfield last season, the 5-0 win at Old Trafford, the 4-2 away from home as well back in 2021 as well. And I think we drew at Anfield at that season as well. So Liverpool unbeaten in at Anfield over the last couple of seasons against Manchester United. Obviously, the most recent one we'll look at is the fact that Liverpool lost by 2 goals to 1. I believe it was Sancho and Rashford that scored. Yeah, Rashford and Sancho scored Manchester United's goal, and Mohamed Salah scored Liverpool's goal as well, which of course again was a little bit hindered by, of course, Darwin Núñez not being there. Of course, I think that was the first game he was taking up his suspension, I think, with that game as well. So, again, no, of course, it's two different teams now. Obviously, right at the start of the season, I think that's where Manchester United really kicked on from the season. I think that Liverpool, I think that the early signs were there for how bad Liverpool's season was going to be in that Manchester United game. I think I watched it back yesterday, and it was really bad in certain elements. We're actually going to have a quick look as well, chat, at the actual team that played against Manchester United on that day. Because I think we ended up, yeah, we did. We had, I'll quickly show it to you guys as well. Down below, yeah, you see there, Alisson Becker in goal, Andy Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, shock. Of course, Liverpool had a bad game with Joe Gomez at the back, even though he was in the green in ratings. Trent, right back, Harvey Elliott, Jordan Henderson in the six, and James Milner. And then a front three of Luis Diaz, Bobby Firmino, and Mohamed Salah as well. So, again, I think that team, of course, will obviously be mass change. No Luis Diaz, and then no Joe Gomez neither. Of course, he's still recovering from his hamstring injury at the moment. Of course, Luis Diaz is expected to be back next week, which of course is great news in that aspect. But again, in full training, that is, of course, he's not going to be thrown in the deep end straight away, of course, because again, he has been out since October, hasn't he? So again, it will take probably 2, 3, 4 weeks before we will see Luis Diaz in a Liverpool shirt, at least anyway. But again, he's going to be so important for Liverpool's last probably 10, 11, 12 games of the season. And again, can't wait to have him back for this end part of the season anyway. But Elskar says, looks like a 90th minute winner by Arsenal is their only defeat since Christmas as well. Yeah, absolutely. McTom played 2 as well. Yeah, it did as well. It did as well, didn't it? That was Sancho's first goal in an age 2. Yeah, it was the one where Van Dijk just did not close down Sancho, which again I will never understand why he just stood there. But again, obviously we have to learn from that. And judging from what Jurgen was saying today, it's the fact that the team is full of confidence at the moment because apart from the Real Madrid game, obviously we've kept 4 clean sheets in a row. We've won 3 out of the last 4 in the league. If Liverpool can win this game and results go our way, in terms of the top 4 race, obviously, we'll take a quick look at the league table in a moment. But this is a huge opportunity for Liverpool to get, into a position to be into the top 4 because again, Man City are playing Newcastle, again, Spurs are playing Wolves. That's a very tricky game, as we've known as well. I think Wolves are at home in that regard, at least anyway. But I will quickly get the league table up for you guys as well. If it wants to show itself, there we go. But yeah, as you can see, if Liverpool were to get 3 points again, Liverpool will be on 42 points. Only was that only then 3 points realistically away from Spurs? Again, it's a massive opportunity for the Reds to be able to get 4th. Especially the fact that we have to play Spurs again at Anfield, and that's the thing now where Liverpool need to take opportunities. This United game, it's gonna be hard. Of course, it's gonna be one of the toughest games of the season, but that's literally what Liverpool need to do now, especially home games in particular. We have to go on and win, and we have to, go on to, we have to go on to potentially, beat teams that we're not supposed to beat, like City away, for example. That's going to be huge. Arsenal at home, that's going to be huge. We have to get 3 points there and then, because again, we know Liverpool are going to slip up again at some point this season. But if it means nothing in terms of the race of getting top four, that's obviously a much better sight than looking at it in that regard. Anyway, but I was going to say, what's that loss on United Day? I'll quickly have a look. That's the Arsenal game that they lost. As Gav said, that's how far back in the league they actually lost as well. And to be fair, when you actually look at the top four, um, just in general, in terms of what they've done and how many defeats they're on, it's not that many. If football wants to actually work, because I've gone and had a look who they lost to now, and it will not. Is this going to work now? Are you going to work? Thank you very much. Again, I love things going on in chat. Yeah, but you look at it now. Arsenal obviously lost 3 games this season. City have only lost 4. United have lost 5. Spurs have lost 8. The same amount. Well, not the same amount as Liverpool. Of course, Liverpool have only lost 7 times. I say only 7 times. That's a horrific amount of numbers. And again, Newcastle only losing twice this season as well. So, and again, no, I think the Newcastle will be, I think, be a threat for top 4. I think everyone has thought that they would fall off. That could still be the case with their squad, not being fully fit at the moment. With them, I think a couple of players are missing for Newcastle. So again, Liverpool have to take, the opportunities there. In that regard as well. Wasn't that Arsenal? Yeah, they lost to Arsenal as well. Dave's in as well. Hello, Dave. Hope you're having a fantastic day. My friend saying 2-1 to the Reds. As Hannah says, I love your optimism, Dave. I absolutely love it as well. I think plenty of people are rightfully, crapping themselves for this game because, again, at the moment, it is just purely that, isn't it, chat, at the moment, where you've got so many people worried about this game. And obviously with Manchester United, obviously we know what their tactic is going to be. It's going to be counter-attack. And I think Liverpool might want to potentially change the game plan where we might want to give United more of the ball and counter-attack them with, we've got Jota back, Gakpo's there as well. Obviously, Darwin Núñez is finally there. So again, give Darwin Núñez an opportunity to run at Lautaro Martinez. And I think it might be a scary occasion for him as well. Always optimistic, Anna, as well, says Dave. And Dave saying, I'm not worried at all. The only thing I'm worried about, Dave, is Marcus Rashford. And that's me being honest. I think Casemiro, we know Casemiro from playing Real Madrid. We know what he brings. The only thing that worries me going forward with Manchester United is Rashford. And how do you deal with Rashford? Do you double mark him? Maybe Henderson comes back a little bit to help Trent. Obviously, that's the battle that's going to be key between Trent and Alexander-Arnold and Marcus Rashford. And that is really the only thing for me where I am a bit worried, because we know Weghorst isn't going to be quicker than both Kanate and Van Dijk. We know that. Anthony, I think Robbo is fine in that regard. It is just Marcus Rashford. Like, we've seen how good he has been this season, and I think obviously people can see it, like, honestly, like, he's back in form. And like Klopp said today, he doesn't like Manchester United being good. He doesn't like the fact that United are above Liverpool. But the one thing he loves is Marcus Rashford being back in form as well, like he said. And again, we don't like to see obviously United players doing well, but with Rashford, and it's a little bit laughable a little bit when it comes to Manchester United supporters, because they wanted him out of the club, didn't they? A year or two ago, or even last season, I think it was. They wanted him gone. They wanted him banished from the club. They didn't want anything to do with Marcus Rashford. What he's done. Oh, let's try and get some money for him. Blah 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 blah. then this season happens, and he's been absolutely brilliant for Manchester United. And then he's United fans are praising him. Oh, Rashford this, Rashford that. He's amazing and that. But where were you a year ago when he was struggling and that? And it's very very fickle. And again, they're only standing behind him now because he's doing amazingly, which is brilliant for Rashford. But when United fans go, "Oh yeah, believed in him all this time," no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Um, Stop being fickle and admit it that the fact that you were wrong about Marcus Rashford. Was Coverley on a United stream before, and they completely took Klopp's press out of context to build up extra motivation for them as fans as well. Yeah, again, it's the thing is form in this type of game is completely out the window. Anfield Sunday night under the lights. Hopefully the crowd will obviously be bouncing because of the news about Roberto Firmino as well, that we're going to get onto a minute. If anyone hasn't seen the news as well, of course I'll mention that in a moment. But Liverpool fans don't need a boost for this. It should be absolutely crazy at Anfield on Sunday, like it should be. But realistically, Anfield has to be bouncing and give that extra motivation, like we did against Real Madrid in that first half. Do exactly the same, and hopefully that will be the case as well. Anyway, but yeah, classic from United. Rashford can create and score his own goals with no help from anyone. Exactly. That tells me they're worried as well. They are worried, of course they are. It's Liverpool at Anfield. Again, look at it back through the 2000s and that when Ferguson always said that coming to Anfield they were never ever they were never when they go to a few places and they're like, oh yeah, we'll get 3 points here. They were never like that at Anfield because they knew the atmosphere and the players. They'd always react with one another, and it would be so difficult to play against Liverpool at Anfield. And again, that's the same. Ten Hag isn't stupid. Um, Ten Hag will be, if you can quiet the crowd down as quick as possible, that will work in your favour. But realistically, when I think this game is so important to Liverpool's season. Like I mentioned, in terms of getting top four, you know, Liverpool are going to go completely after United, and I think they have to from the get go. Sorry, and we have to completely go for the jugular. Where in some games we haven't had to do that as such, but it's Manchester United. You have to punish them. And obviously, obviously with having Darwin Nunes there, obviously Cody Gakpo as well, and that front three now coming in fruition with itself. Obviously with the addition of Bobby and Jota as well. I think, look, of course, it's scary for other teams as well. I remember all that. They called him Trashford, a fickle numpty as well. Yeah, absolutely. And look, I shouldn't like a Manchester United player, but if you were to say to me, pick a United player to come into Liverpool, I'd 100% pick Rashford. 100% pick Rashford. I think even Jurgen said that. He's the only one that you would go. Yeah, I'd 100% go and get Marcus Rashford if it was available. Um, which I think even still next season is it not this summer, the next summer. I think he's only signed a 1 year deal, isn't he? So, or they've activated a 1 year contract extension with Marcus Rashford. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if a top club like a Real Madrid or someone like that come in for Marcus Rashford. Um, Maybe, but again, that's in a year or two's time. That for right now, Marcus Rashford is probably apart from probably Erling Haaland, has been probably the most deadliest threat in the league, apart from of course Darwin Nunes, in that regard anyway. But still, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. But just to backtrack a little bit, if anyone hasn't seen the news in regards to Roberto Firmino, of course. We did a video on it earlier on, of course, but again, if you guys are just tuning in, of course, obviously mentioning the fact that Bobby will leave Liverpool at the end of the season, which of course is sad news. And of course, we spoke about it more in depth earlier on with Jack as well. But once again, look, I think all of us will be emotional when it is the last game in Anfield this season, and we have to go on, and it will be his last game. It's going to be sad, but look, one unbelievable career for Roberto Firmino at Liverpool. Look, I'm going to miss him, and hopefully, like I said, at Anfield on Sunday, hopefully Cicinho gets absolutely blasted out by the Kop on Sunday as well. But Elskaus is saying, so glad Kanate and Jota, even as subs, is back for this game as well. Yeah, absolutely. Um, According to Klopp, there's no fresh injury concerns neither, which is good news anyway, because I know people were concerned about Virgil van Dijk and Kanate because they wasn't seen in outdoor training today. But again, I think they're completely fine. I think they're just doing indoor work because again, both of them have only just come back from hamstring injuries. So I'm guessing they might be in the pool doing recovery work in those regards, because of course that's what they normally do with muscle injury. Anyway, but Hannah says Rashford is thoroughly decent human being, so I hope he does get a big money move to a club that appreciates him as well. Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. But they're Hannah as well. Anyway, but chat, let me know your score predictions. Let me know your starting line predictions as well in the comment section down below. Will be interesting as well because again, I think there's probably a conversation for the front three. I think mainly in this game. I think honestly, I think the back four and the midfield three. I'm stuttering today. I don't know why. Yeah, the midfield three. I think just writes itself in that regard. Anyway, but this is my team that I think Liverpool will put out to face Manchester United. It is near enough the same team that beat Wolves on Wednesday. But again, I think Alisson Becker was starting goal. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ibu Konate, Virgil van Dijk, and Andy Robertson will be Liverpool's back five. Obviously, Fabinho in the DM position alongside Stefan Bajcetic, and then Jordan Henderson on the right-hand side of the pitch. I then think it'll be Mohamed Salah, Darwin Núñez, and keeping his place in the team, Diogo Jota as well. It was very much a toss-up between Jota and Cody Gakpo. But yeah, I do think that Jota might keep his place for the Manchester United game as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, I think even midfield you might change a few things potentially. Maybe drop Fabinho, put Bajcetic in the DM position, and then you might go with a James Milner potentially on the left hand side and Naby potentially. But I think realistically that's Liverpool's best midfield three at the moment, while Thiago isn't around at the moment as well. Anyway, but this will be the last derby for Bobby, won't it? Better motivation pre-game at the Real Madrid when John said he wasn't selling. Lol. Yeah, definitely better. It's definitely better than that, isn't it? Elskaus, and again, Jesus Christ, the whole debacle on that is still ridiculous when I think about it. I've just read an interesting stat in a group I'm in. Man United have only scored one more goal than us and conceded the same amount of number of goals as well. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like again, they only win by the odd goal. They don't win by 3-1 or 4-1 or something like that. Again, it's only by the odd one or two goals that they always beat teams by. As well, which hopefully that won't be the case on the weekend anyway. I couldn't believe that Hannah as well. Exact team you picked for me too as well. Obviously 1892 Reds podcast is in. 1892 Reds TV, sorry. Obviously Conor Romano as well. Mason Mount signing, boys. Mason Mount signing. No, of course. I think that's Ricky. I think. But let me know in the chat as well. But good seeing you as well, boys. Right, Scouse, the way their fans are crying on, you'd think they're in for a don't Hannah, don't get me started on the Man United quadruple stuff. They think that they are in a quadruple season. No, no. Like I don't even think at this time of the season last year, Liverpool fans thought that we were in a quadruple season. I think the only time I think the only time as Liverpool fans thought that it could happen was probably when we won the FA Cup, I think. And then even that was only like what? It was only like 2 games left of the season. Um, and obviously there was chatter around it, but I don't think anyone thought in particular that it would happen. I thought it might have happened after the FA Cup final. But again, I don't get this United fans when United think that just generally they are in a quadruple chasing year. I don't get it, man. So stupid, so stupid. As well, but Ricky can't spell Conor Romano as well. Hello, Rick. Anyway, but sad to lose Bobby as well. Yeah, it is sad to lose Bobby. I hope that Bobby can make a massive impact on the season as well. Luke, it's always you, Mess. You come in with your eyes, lol. As well, it might be Luke as well. I think it is Ricky though. Bless Man United fans. They aren't even close to Man City, and they've even had a bad season as well. It's one of these seasons where I think I might be wrong by saying this. I think Uni- I think United are what Arsenal was between. I know it's you, Luke. I know it's you, Luke. I think Arsenal are currently what Arsenal was when it was Spurs and Leicester going for the title, and one of the top two teams might slip up and finish below them potentially, but they're not in a title race. They're genuinely not. I still think Arsenal are going to win the league. By the way, um, but I could be wrong. Arsenal could completely drop off. Um, but I think at least one team is going to drop off. Um, I don't think he'll go. I don't think the title race will go down to the last game of the season, um, like it did last season. But yeah, that's just my opinion anyway. But Conor Romano is so hard to spell as well. Lol, it's Luke. I know it's Luke. Luke, get to bed. I'm joking. Where was this even league when we were flying? Such a shame as well. Yeah, exactly. It's just classic Liverpool, isn't it? The season that Liverpool have to have a rebuild and have to and we're currently not having a great season. Let's not get that wrong, but in terms of just in general, just not performing that great, of course, it ends up being the Liverpool aren't fighting on all cylinders. It's frustrating and horrible in those regards. Anyway, and Napoli losing chat as well. Jesus Christ, how are they losing? I was just checking my phone. Where is he? 11? Yeah, we're at that one. Hannah says, "I'm more and more confident that Arsenal will win it. I hope they do. I hope they do. I think the this might sound stupid. The only team that can stop Arsenal are Arsenal. It sounds really dumb when I say it, but genuinely, it's only Arsenal. You've seen how bad they were against City at the Emirates, and that's the thing where Arsenal only need a point at the Etihad, at the Etihad, really. But yeah, they only need a point away from there. So again, that's the thing. Like I feel like Arsenal haven't really had a dip in the season. Like I feel like the Villa win that they managed to get, the last minute winner, um, when they managed to get the last minute winner, that was a real turning point when we talk about them being potential champions and that what remind me of, like, look at Liverpool against Villa in that regard. We ended up doing the same thing when on winning the league. But I feel like if Arsenal have, potentially back-to-back losers, or if they get knocked out of the Europa League and then lose in the league, for example, I just feel like then you'll be able to tell where they truly are. Because if they can bounce back from that, then they'll be sound. I think they'll go on and win the league. But their confidence might just go down and down and down and down, and then they end up losing the league. But yeah, I do think they are their own worst enemy at the moment as well. But a big advantage being at home. But we have a run of hard games now, four away: Bournemouth, Madrid, City, and Chelsea as well. Yeah, it's not the prettiest of games, is it, over the next couple of weeks as well. Even last season, City only won because of a dodgy pen against Everton. Yeah, exactly. And again, I always go back to that game between us and City, where we kept hold of that point. We didn't put on an extra attacker. We didn't go on to get a goal. We just thought, yeah, 2-2. We'll take the point. And hopefully they'll drop points, and when we won't, of course, we drop points against Spurs, and I think they drop points against someone as well. But it is just the fact that those games. It's like, look at the Anfield game, for example. Even last season, we didn't beat City at home. I don't think. I think we drew, didn't we? 2-2. Um, and that's the thing that annoys me mostly about this season. We've somehow managed to beat Man City this season, and we're not fighting on for the league. It's so stupid. Because any other time, like last season, for example, if we had beat City at Anfield, we win the league. And yeah, it's just frustrating. Really, really frustrating as well. But now that's accurate. Arsenal can be their own worst enemy as well. Yeah, Napoli are losing 1-0. Jesus Christ, my bet's in the mud. Man, I hope Potter is still in charge of Chelsea when we play them as well. I think the Leeds game might be his last game. And I think I read something today that if they don't beat Leeds, then he is in serious trouble. So again, we'll have to see anyway. But yeah, guys, um, let me know your score predictions in the comment section down below. For me, I'm gonna go. Where am I gonna go with? You know what? I actually am. I'm gonna go 3-1 Liverpool. Being really optimistic. That's being really optimistic. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna go 3-1 Liverpool. I think Darwin Núñez is gonna score. I think Mohamed Salah is gonna score, and I think Trent's gonna score. I don't know why. I can just see him scoring a free kick for some random reason, and even though he hasn't scored a free kick in time. I think the last free kick he scored was, I want to say, Rangers at home in the Champions League, I think, potentially. But yeah, I think 3-1, and of course, I think Rashford is going to score for United as well. But let me know your score predictions, chat, as well. I honestly thought we were getting beat 1-4, but now I just can't see us losing. Yeah, exactly. Look how, if you had said after the Madrid game, what's my prediction for Liverpool Manchester United? I'd go, they're going to batter us. No, because we've won what 2 games or 3 games out of 4 in the league. You think about it now, and you're like, maybe, maybe there might be a chance. But yeah, I've gone 3-1 Liverpool, and then watch it all be over within 20 minutes at Anfield. Confident scoreline for the Reds is a 2-1 win, as well, says Mark. Hannah says, I won't make a prediction because I'll jinx it. Don't worry. I probably jinxed it now as well. 2-1 for me, says El Scouser. With the crowd behind us, we can take on anyone. Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I said to you guys, if you look at that Real Madrid performance, of course, the second half, we don't even include that because it was awful, and it was awful. But that first half performance against Real Madrid, like I said to you guys, I don't think there is any team in Europe that could have handled Liverpool apart from Real Madrid in that game. So for me, I think, look, if Liverpool can do what we know they can do, and what we've seen over the last couple of weeks in terms of the performance, anything's possible at Anfield as well. So, fingers crossed the Reds can get the win, of course, and hopefully we can be here on Sunday night talking about Liverpool win. Anyway, but I am going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the preview, then very well. First of all, big thank you to all of you guys for tuning in as well. If you are new around here, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button as well. Even if you're not new around here, please hit that like button. Please share out the channel as well, guys. Get as many Reds in here as possible. trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the season. We might do it, we might not do it. I'm not particularly sure yet, but hopefully we can get there. Anyway, but again, it only takes one big video to do it as well. But I'm not remembering that City game. I think you're right. Anfield needs to be rocking to go. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Great preview. Thanks as well. Thank you, Hannah, for tuning in, and yeah, Hannah as well. Yeah, anything's possible at Anfield under the lights for Liverpool anyway. But I will see you guys on Sunday night, unless, of course, there is any other breaking news that happens tomorrow. Obviously, we were live earlier on with the breaking news episode concerning Roberto Firmino. So, again, if you guys want to go and check that out, please go do so as well. But, yeah, until next time, guys, that will be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I will see you all then. Ta-ra.